something legally? What will you try to? What's the next move?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. Like, I wasn't trying to stir the pot or nothing. I was just trying to enjoy my life.
I want to dig back into this Jaylen Brown situation because hold up, more details just dropped and it changes the tone a bit. He said $300K down the drain, and listen to this, the owner of Oakley let him use a house in Beverly Hills for the weekend. He was bringing in streamers, young professionals, and a bunch of notable, knowledgeable people to trade ideas and actually help others get off the ground as they start their journeys. Now here's the twist, you won't believe this. The Beverly Hills Police Department issued an apology to Jaylen Brown. They admitted the city's earlier statement about the weekend event at the Trudale home was inaccurate, and on behalf of the city, they apologized to Jaylen Brown and the Jar family. They said the city has a responsibility to residents and neighbors to enforce established regulations for events at private homes, meant to protect the safety and welfare of neighbors and attendees. City staff said they observed what they believed were code violations, and that's why the event was shut down. But now they're walking that back and saying the original claim wasn't accurate. Jaylen responded, saying thank you for the apology to the Beverly Hills Police Department, but the damage is already done, and he can't recreate that moment. And what about the resources and partners who lost out on something that was supposed to be celebratory? He also said they embarrassed him and his 741 performance, and honestly, he's not wrong. Because getting all those people together, especially streamers who spend most of their lives online, takes real effort and momentum. And once you kill the vibe like that, you can't just hit rewind. So imagine this. Listen to this. They chose not to stream in that moment so they could be in the room with Jaylen Brown, or even canceled other bookings, like, nah, I'm pulling up to the Jaylen Brown event, and then they arrive just to get shut down. And when that happens, hold up, you're literally taking money and opportunity out of people's pockets, time they could have spent on gigs they were already booked for. So yeah, Jaylen did clap back at the Beverly Hills Police Department, saying this was a private, invitation-only gathering at a private home with friends and partners, not some public or commercial event that needed a permit. He also said the music was turned off at 6 p.m., well before the 10 p.m. noise ordinance, so the timing excuse doesn't even hold up. On top of that, before the event even happened, his team proactively reached out to the Beverly Hills Police Department to hire an off-duty officer for support, and that request was straight up declined. So Jaylen's point is, they followed the proper protocols and chains of command to make sure law enforcement was looped in and had the chance to be there to monitor things, and the department said no. He went further, saying no proof of any alleged violation was ever shown to the homeowner, his team, or legal counsel. No observation, no documentation, no confirmed violations, which is wild. Enforcement based on belief alone, he said, raises serious due process concerns, and that's not some small accusation. He added that Jaylen Brown Enterprises, Inc. supports lawful compliance and working with municipalities wherever they operate, but this private residential gathering was shut down without substantiated cause, leading to serious financial and reputational damage. He also said they're still open to a constructive resolution with the city of Beverly Hills. But listen to this. He accused them of targeting him and his 741 performance event based on biased information, then tossing out a half apology after the damage was already done.
For something legally, what will you try to? What's the next move?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. Like, I wasn't trying to stir the pot or nothing. I was just trying to enjoy my All-Star weekend. First time being a starter, we had a brand activation event. A lot of money was spent on it. Oakley was a great partner of ours. I was just trying to enjoy my time. I wasn't trying to bother nobody, and that got taken away and it got shut down. And on top of that, I feel like it kind of embarrassed me and my brand a little bit. People making assumptions saying that we didn't go file the proper permits. We found out that was a lie. Put that in their statement. So why even put that out there in the statement in the first place if it wasn't the truth? And then, they said that was violations. That was a lie as well. And then even in the apology, they put out that. So when did the law stop? I just wanted to enjoy my weekend. I wasn't thinking about you know, trying to get into it with the police department, get into it with Beverly Hills. I never had an issue with Beverly Hills. It's on this All-Star weekend at 7 p.m. I just wanted to enjoy myself, and I feel like that got taken away. I got embarrassed to some degree. And if it happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to a bunch of people in the past. So I look at it like that. It's a bunch of people that probably don't stream, or, you know, it falls on deaf ears, which is unfortunate. So I'm not sure what the conclusion is. I feel like that apology, you know, even in the statement they put out, they included some stuff that wasn't true, even in the apology. So I don't think that apology was acceptable. You know, I lost a lot of money, you know, on certain partners, etc. And people were making assumptions like we didn't go through the proper protocols. So it's just all around just a bad look. It was a bad taste in my mouth. I'm extremely offended. My team is offended still. I'm not sure what the conclusion is going to be. All I know is that it was some bullshit.
So yeah, that's exactly what Jaylen Brown had to say about the whole situation. And listen to this. When a high-profile NBA player reaches out asking the Beverly Hills Police Department to have a presence at the event, that should count for something. And hold up, the music was shut off 4 hours before the noise ordinance even kicks in. So by the book, what are we really charging Jaylen with here? This starts to feel like somebody doesn't want to admit who actually made that call on Jaylen, if you know what I mean. They saw a bunch of people of color gathering, saw it a certain way, didn't know who Jaylen Brown even was, and didn't realize he was literally in the state to play in the NBA All-Star game. He was in that area for the All-Star weekend, period. So you see these young entrepreneurs pulling up, somebody gets uncomfortable, next thing you know, the cops are called and everybody's acting surprised when things go left. That's not what they're saying officially, but girl, I can feel it. And we've all seen how these situations play out. We know the pattern by now, and I'm honestly glad Jaylen is keeping the pressure on them about this. Now here's the part that really hurts. He already said that $300K is gone, so who's cutting the check to make him whole? Because yeah, he was given the house for the weekend to host the event how he wanted, but setting that up isn't free. You gotta prep the space, feed a ton of people, and bring in all the resources to make something like that run smoothly. And once it gets shut down, all that money and effort just evaporates. And listen to this, did Jaylen Brown even pay some of those folks to be there? Knowing how he moves in business, I wouldn't be shocked if he compensated people for showing up, especially when other events would have paid a lot of the same creators to be on site. So when he says $300K went down the drain, hold up, what are we actually doing about the real losses here? You can't rewind the damage to his reputation, but can someone at least talk reimbursement? Because a simple sorry fades fast. What people are going to remember is that the event never happened, that it got shut down, and now it's being spun like he was throwing some sloppy 1 a.m. house party with music blasting like a bunch of teenagers. That narrative is wild, because this was supposed to be a seminar to help young professionals level up and cross over into each other's platforms. You know Jaylen is stepping into the streaming world now, taking a real interest in it, and he's already done some collaborations with those guys. They get to tap into his basketball world, run one-on-ones, and then you look at the YouTube space right now with streamers like Playboy Max, who, listen to this, actually has a little game and can hoop a bit. So seeing these worlds collide is low-key beautiful to me. Jaylen has always been a forward thinker, and having all that knowledge under one roof in a controlled, private setting was powerful. At the end of the day, it wasn't some public spectacle. It was really just your people pulling up to share ideas and have real conversations. It wasn't set up like some big official conference you'd book at a civic center or anything like that kind of production. It was really just people Jaylen Brown already has real relationships with pulling up to share their knowledge in their professions. So do y'all think Jaylen was off base here? Because that extra detail about him calling the police ahead of time is wild to me. Hold up, where exactly could this have gone wrong if he looped them in from the jump? You see what I'm saying? Like seriously, where did he misstep? That's the part I'm stuck on. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.